This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning Mysteries, where we're your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
All right.
Alexis was just giving me a weird look because right when she asked if I was ready to record, I started doing something else on my computer to like reposition something. She was looking at me so sus.
I'm going.
And I gave her a little thumbs up, but I was kind of only ready.
It's like she's saying she's ready. It doesn't look like she is, but I'm going with it. So here we are.
We're ready.
We're ready.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Feeling squirrely today, or perhaps naked mole ratty today.
Ooh.
Dressed mole ratty at least today, because yes, Grace is here to tell us another episode of the show that we're covering in our new arc. Good God, can't talk anymore. Kim Possible. And you know what? I'm going to hand it to Grace now because clearly I'm not a woman of words right now. So have at it, Grace.
This, as you all know, if you've been listeners with us for a while, we record in batches ahead of time because our schedules are always super chaotic. And so this is our third episode of the day. We always get a little wily at this point.
Yeah, by the end, it gets a little crazy.
Yeah. So if you ever notice the ebb and flow of the craziness of our episodes, that's typically why, I would say.
Exactly. It starts pretty calm and normal, and then the end
just escalates.
Either shit escalates. Just things are said, and this is indicative of that. Grace, keep talking. I'm going to stop. Yes.
All right. So today I will be doing season 1, episode 11 of Kim Possible, entitled Coach Possible, which Alexis, I'm very excited for. It's a fun episode, but also because you yourself were a coach at one point in your life.
Indeed.
So
yes.
I can't wait to see if you see a reflection of your own coaching skills in this episode, or, just see how you feel about it. We'll get to it.
Yeah. I'll let you know.
We'll get there.
I can add my coaching expertise in here and now if need be.
Good.
I did it just yesterday.
Perfect.
Literally been 10 years. Anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So we started off somewhere pretty scary. Not just scary to me, but scary, in fact, to Mrs. Dr. Possible, to distinguish because they're both Dr. Possible.
Doctors.
And Kim Possible herself. They are waiting outside of the Pizza Partitorium, a.k.a. Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, that is scary. Yeah.
Yes, a very scary place to be. Kim and her mom pull up in their car, and they're going back and forth arguing about who has to be brave enough to go in and pick up Kim's dad and brothers, Tim and Jim.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Kim eventually
what is he doing there? Sorry. That's not
Kim's
right.
dad? Mr. Dr. Possible, what are you doing in there?
What are you doing? So
Kim relents to her mom and agrees to go in. And they're in there because it is after soccer practice. And it's Tim and Jim's soccer practice. And James, their dad, is the coach of the soccer team. So in their post-practice, the twins are just creating absolute chaos, as you can imagine, kicking the soccer ball around all around the place, while their dad, the coach of the team, is trying pretty unsuccessfully to rein those little monsters in. And Kim walks inside, cringing at the smell and the sounds of it all, including, but not limited to, an animatronic band playing from the stage.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Now, quick question.
Please tell me we're not going to talk about Chuck E. Cheese, Grace. Please tell me we're not going to talk about Chuck E. Cheese. Are we going to talk about Chuck E. Cheese?
Not yet, but we will.
Okay. Go ahead. Boy, oh boy, do I have stories.
Oh, we will talk about Chuck E. Cheese. Don't worry. Good. But first, I'd love to know, Alexis. Well, first, let me tell you about these animatronic animals. They're all in farmer clothing. We've got a hippo, a bear, an otter, a beaver. They got banjo, a guitar. One of them's on drums. I don't know. One of them's a singer or something like that. They're doing exactly the type of music that you think they are doing. So, importantly, Alexis, where do we, as a podcast, as a group here, as a hive mind, land on animatronic animals in our list of inanimate objects that we hate, such as marionettes?
Very, very high up the list.
Same. Yes,
yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Not quite
for
as bad as
the
marionettes, but high, but up there.
yeah, not yeah. They're because marionettes have a weird realness to them, if you will. Not like
Yes.
realness, but they can move more. Animatronics, like the movements are so like
Yeah, it's just
clunky and stuff
repeating.
that like it's yeah,
Yes.
it looks goofy, but it's also terrifying, especially when you're a
Yes.
kid. For a plug for our YouTube, when Grace mentioned animatronics, like I had
That's
a
why I knew
clear
you would be
visceral
on the same page.
reaction and fear in my eyes
Was
of
this
please tell me
a specific Chuck E. Cheese trauma that you've had?
yes.
Okay, tell us about it now, and I'll
No.
follow up with Chuck E. Cheese later.
I mean, I shouldn't say it was specific. I just had an irrational fear of Chuck E. Cheese when I was a kid. Like, I can't even explain it. I don't know why. My parents don't understand it, but and they, for whatever reason, they knew I was afraid of it, and they still had
Still
my
brought
birthday
you.
parties there. Yeah,
Oh no, you had
not
full-on
not
birthday parties there?
birthday parties where I would panic in front of all the kids at my birthday party. It happened like once or twice, maybe, but I'll never forget. They
This
have
is so
pictures and maybe even a
awesome.
video because this was like, late 90s when
I gotta
everyone
text
started getting like
Seth for
video
this.
camcorders and stuff. My dad would record every event, everything. He
Of
loved
course.
that camera. So, of course, there's like video evidence of this somewhere in the depths of my mother's basement in Ohio of me like screaming,
Oh my God,
crying,
Alexis.
and then causing my cousins and my friends to also start scream and cry when like Chuck E. Cheese came out to give me my birthday cake,
Alexis.
like having a great time and then looking up and seeing him and just like you see like like my face turn pale and I just start screaming as like a little 4 or 5 year
Oh
old
my God.
girl. And then my
This
cousin
is so
just say like,
sad.
what the hell? And then also starts screaming because she's like, oh, if Alexis is screaming, I gotta
I
scream
should be
too.
screaming.
Yeah, and then my friend looks at us and stuff. It was chaos. And so yeah. We just always laugh about that in my family that I was very afraid of Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know
Oh
when
my
I grew out
God.
of it, but I did
It's so
eventually grow
funny.
out of it.
Are you
I was
sure?
just like,
When was the last time you were there? I saw your reaction when
I
I said
grew
animatronic
out of
animal.
it.
Well,
You
Alexis,
can,
this is supposed
you
to be a
can feel my
traumatizing
heart
episode for
freeze
you.
yeah,
Sorry to
I
bring
don't know
this
if I've
trauma
ever
to
like
you.
really told anyone that. I feel like that's only
No, I've
something
never heard
that
that.
people in my immediate family know, and like the couple of friends that were at
Who are
that party
there?
that I like
Like
still
your
know.
cousins.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, I vaguely remember Alexis like panicking at the
Oh my
sight.
God.
Yeah,
Oh
so
my
there's that
God.
whales and animatronics. Those
Oh
were the
my
things that
God. An
got me.
animatronic whale? She's
Don't
done.
even stop. Don't even. I'm stop it
Oh my
right
God. Well, I'm
now.
so sorry for about the horror I'm going to bring to you.
It's okay. I've grown up. I've seen much scarier things since then that have made me realize that I was
Desensitized
just being
you.
a dumb kid. Yeah, exactly.
Also, like, because I've seen like little kid pictures of you too, and like you're just so cute and just like
Oh, my
that
little
screaming.
pigtails.
Yeah. But like horrified is like so heartbreaking. Like that would be the opening of the horror movie. Is like
Yes.
the second you see that cute ass kid, like things are about to go wrong because this kid's about to be traumatized. And like
Yes.
the cuter the kid, the worse the
Like,
trauma is gonna be. And like that was the opening scene.
that was it. Yeah, that was it. That was the
Wow.
movie.
Have you
Mhm.
ever gone and seen what's that Nick Cage like horror movie with the animatronics?
Oh no, but I've been wanting to. There's the other one too called Five
Yeah,
Nights at
Freddy's.
Freddy's.
Yeah.
And then yeah, what is the one with it just came out recently too, or like in the past couple years. I know which one
The Nick
the Nick
Cage
Cage
one.
one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta
I
go
think
see it.
so.
I
I
obviously have
need
only
to.
listened to the recap of it, but like
Yeah,
I
I
think it'll
will.
bring you peace when it comes to animatronic animals.
I hope so. Five Nights
Yeah.
at Freddy's helped a lot. I watched that a
Okay.
few months ago after it came out, and I was like, okay, I think I'm better. I
Yeah.
think I'm getting there. It's like I
Well,
can sit and watch The Descent about like cave monsters clawing off women's faces,
but
but
animatronic hippo
an
with a banjo,
animatronic, get the fuck out of here. Absolutely not.
burn
Kill
it
it. Kill
down.
it with fire.
Yeah.
Yes. Immediately.
Wow, I've
Yeah,
known you for
so
so long and never knew this deep, deep
same.
lore
Y'all are
about
learning
you.
some things about
I would have
me
chosen a different
today.
episode
Like,
if I had
it's
known.
okay, it's fine. The more I talk about it, the more it helps. Honestly,
Because this is
I
your
can't
therapy
be.
right now.
Yes,
It's a therapy
exactly.
episode.
They can't hurt me if I accept the fear. Yeah,
Good.
it's
Good.
irrational, so I know that now. And so, yeah,
Okay,
why would I be
well,
afraid?
you know what? They're high on the list then. They're high on our hatred
They are
list for
high
sure.
though.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep,
Yeah.
I agree. Let's put them up there. We'll bump them up a
Hmm.
couple of steps,
To answer your question, yes. One step below marionettes,
but
one step
barely for
above
you.
ventriloquists, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
A happy medium right at number two,
Yeah.
spot number
They're right
two.
up there. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
Whew. Well, I'm again so sorry for
it's
everything.
okay. It's okay. And it's just funny too, because you started this episode as saying, like, oh, you were a coach. I would love to hear what badass coaching you
Instead,
like animatronics. Oh God.
yeah, I won't be able to get anything else out of you this episode, just fear.
I'm just gonna be sitting like this, like fetal position, comforting. I need like a fidget spinner now to like
Yeah,
for anxiety, just to like
I'm
twirl
not
something.
okay.
Yeah, these
Thousand
are my
yard
coping
stare.
mechanisms. Yeah. Anyways.
Wow. Whew, okay, so
Yeah. Whew.
guess we hate him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's moral of the story. We don't like
Okay, yeah, now
animatronics
I
over
know
here.
where we
Hmm.
stand. Yeah, what if I
Yes.
had been like, I love them? This podcast would have been over.
Yeah, eyes wide. Like just I
Just
would just sign off.
never
Just like
speak to me
leave
again.
Zoom meeting now. Yeah.
Yeah, that I've sided with the enemy.
Yeah. I've told
Ooh,
Grace too much about myself. She
she's too
knows.
powerful.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So,
Okay.
anyways,
Anyways.
Kim is in this cesspool hell pit at this moment in time.
Hmm. Hmm.
And while she's in there, she, to no surprise, because as we know it, Chuck E. Cheese's and horror dens alike have arcade games there. And who does
Hmm.
she see playing arcade games but Ron and Rufus? Maybe Ron is
Okay.
bravest of us all.
Yes. Good for him. I need to
Good for
learn
you,
from
Ron.
him.
Yes,
Yeah.
brave, undaunted.
Hmm.
But so she says hi to Ron and Rufus. And then she sees her brothers creating just enough chaos that they end up tripping their dad, who in the next scene at home, we see him with a cast on his foot. He has fully broken his foot from those terrors that
Oh
are Tim and
God.
Jim.
Yeah.
And just as Kim goes to check in on him, they have a quick conversation in which he's like, I can't really be the coach anymore of the team. Like, at least until I'm like a little better on my crutches or at least
Yeah.
off my crutches, Kim, could you be like the substitute coach for Tim and Jim's soccer team? You're super
Mm.
athletic. And Kim's like, yeah, I don't really know a lot about soccer, but like, yeah, okay, fine. I'll do this favor for you, Dad.
They don't know a lot about soccer either. The
Yeah,
ones
she's
playing
like,
it.
I'm
Just
athletic and fast. I'll figure it out.
yeah,
And
just tell
they're
them which
10.
goal to aim for, and
Yeah,
that's the best you can do. Yeah.
exactly. So she agrees, but any more discussion about this, such as when practices, what she needs to do, how to play soccer, etc.,
Yeah.
gets cut off because she gets a page from Wade. The pizza partitorium was robbed.
Oh no!
I
I
was
hope
gonna
they
say,
didn't take the
you
animatronic.
liar, you
Yeah.
absolute fraud, feigning panic and concern. Don't lie to me like that.
Oh, how terrible, Kim! You have to save this place. Oh
Oh
no!
no. So Kim arrives having called Ron on the way and picked him up. And Ron starts panicking as he realizes what's happened. That J.P. Barrymore, as in Bear, more.
I got excited. Like, what? We get a cameo?
Nope. He is simply the lead animatronic animal in the band, a bear, and he has been stolen. And Kim is
Mhm.
like, okay, Ron and like store employees, why are you so worried about this? You still have three other like band members
The show must
to
go
do
on.
this. Yeah. And Ron is aghast at this. And the store owner is like, please, Barrymore was carrying those other hacks. Just a direct quote. So good.
Amazing. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yes. And they look around, but pretty immediately find how Barrymore was stolen. There is a hole in the ceiling, clearly where someone broke through, and Barrymore was lifted out through it and taken away. And we, the viewers, now switch our perspective to Barrymore, who is sitting in the back of a helicopter, which is manned currently by two men. One is older with silver slicked back hair and a square jaw, and he's wearing a very fine, I imagine, like velvet robe and a very like like in the robes where they have like the scarf that's tucked into them, whatever that's
almost
called.
Like an ascot type thing.
Yes,
almost,
ascot, but
fancier.
not quite. Exactly.
Yeah.
While the other one is younger with short black hair, a little bit of facial hair, like this man, you can tell, does not skip arm day. He is like a huge ripped upper body and is wearing a very tight yellow t-shirt.
What a duo.
This, my very next line is this duo. Oh
my God. Girl.
Isn't just any duo.
Oh.
This is a father and son. Okay. And this duo is the seniors. We have Senor Senior Senior and Senor Senior Junior.
I love this show.
It's a handful, so we're just going to call them Senior and Junior.
Okay, good. Okay. I was really hoping you were going to say Senior and Senior Junior.
Absolutely not. Like, no, my life would be so hard.
Equally as confusing. Yeah.
So hard.
Okay, Senior and Junior. Very good.
Yes, Senior is the dad, obviously. Junior is the son. And Senior is primarily, I think the voice actor did change eventually, but is voiced by Ricardo Montalban, who is a Mexican actor, but he was in a lot of American TV and movies. I'm definitely saying his last name wrong. But he has like over like 7 decades of acting experience. He was in I think all of the early 70s Planet of the Apes films. He appeared in Star Trek. He was in How the West Was Won, one of the stars of Fantasy Island, and even more iconic and noteworthy than all of these, he was the grandfather in Spy Kids.
Now
Antonio
I see
Banderas, or the
wife's
father.
Mom. Yes, gotcha.
Yes.
Or father,
Yes. And then Junior is voiced by Nestor Carbonell.
Oh, Carbonell. Yeah.
Yes. I would say he's been in Lost, Bates Motel. Yeah. He was the mayor in Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises. And most recently he was in Shogun. So like, again.
He's in Shogun? God, I gotta watch that show. Man,
I know.
People keep telling me it's so good.
Yeah. Cool. So again, like, these are recurring villains in this show, but of like getting 2 huge names for it. Yeah. Casually.
I need to double check on this, but the reason why I was like, Mr. Marcel, I'm pretty sure my aunt knows him or worked with him at one point.
What?
Aunt Jody.
Oh my God, I knew it.
Like,
hey Jody,
but
are you listening?
But I also don't get it because like she's been a lawyer her whole career. So I'm like, when, how? But for some reason, I remember because we were watching something and he was in it and she was like, oh, hey, Nestor. And I was like, you know Nestor Carbonell? And she's like, oh, yeah. And then she told me a story, but I can't remember what it was. And I was like, okay, well, if she told me a story, it had to do something with meeting him or something, honestly, sure. Yeah.
If you're surprised by this, I'm not.
You're not? Okay. Yeah. You know my family better than I do. Yeah. But she probably told you the story.
It's fine. She knows them all. She knows them all.
Of course. No surprise. Yes. Anyways.
So they are a villainous duo team, although it's kind of hard to call them a team per se.
Oh, okay.
So Senior is filthy, filthy, filthy rich, and he actually became a villain by happenstance, perhaps like all rich people do, just at a certain point.
I didn't mean to be a billionaire. It just happened.
But here I am. And I didn't mean to be evil, but here I am.
Here I am. Yes.
But it actually, the lore behind them is that I guess at some point on one of their private islands, Senior had like used so much power that he like created a blackout through Europe, and Kim and Ron went to investigate and they were like, oh, sorry, we didn't mean to do that. Our bad. And Ron was the one who was like, basically like, "Whoa, you're rich enough you could be an evil villain." And Senior, who's
Ron,
retired and needed a hobby, was
he
like,
needs something to do.
"I
Yeah.
could be an evil villain." Okay,
Ron, don't
sure.
ever say that to a rich person. Someone who can actually
They're a
afford it.
vulnerable community to becoming
Yes,
evil.
they're very impressionable. Yeah.
Yes. And Junior, his son, is probably like in his early 20s. He's close to his dad and really wants to please him. But he also kind of has his own vision of what he wants to do with all of their riches and free time that their riches allow them. And we'll kind of see what that vision is as we go through. But I gotta say that the true evil in this episode isn't necessarily the plot, it's bad parenting.
Oh no. Not from the possibles, I assume.
No, no, not
Okay,
they
good.
do
I
great.
was
No,
like,
they do great.
don't say that about my man James and the
No,
girl
no, no, no,
Anne.
no. James and
Yeah,
Anne
good.
killing it
Okay.
as always.
Yeah.
But
Senior.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Senior is our first bad parent to this episode.
Mm. Mm.
Today, though, up in the helicopter, this is one of Junior's first attempts at spreading his wings, flying out of the nest, and executing his own evil scheme. So today, it's not Senior's show, it's the Junior show. But like some parents struggling to take the training wheels from, the kid's tricycle, Senior's kind of having a hard time not being a backseat driver here.
Okay. Mm.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
he's trying to push Junior to go bigger. Stealing just Barrymore, there's a whole band there. That's
Yeah.
3 more opportunities for evil. What's the point of
Mhm.
just stealing one bear? That's weak. Show him you're
Junior's like,
strong.
Junior's like, but he was carrying the whole day.
But he's the only one who matters.
Yeah.
No one's gonna know the rest of their names. I don't know who
it's
they
like
are.
stealing Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers, you know? Like if you do that, it all falls apart.
It all
you know?
comes
Like,
apart.
Would
It's
Joe
gonna
and Kevin be
unravel.
great too? Sure, but
Harry
it's gonna
Styles
fall
left,
apart.
and then what happened, huh?
And then what happened? Never heard from him again.
Exactly.
Them being the band, not him, obviously.
Yes, exactly. But yes, the Senior is like, if there's a reason for just stealing one of them, what is it? Like, tell me what this grand evil plan is that you haven't told me yet, because he came up with it on his own this time. And
Okay.
Junior won't let him in on the grand plans, but after some prodding and a lot of pressure from his dad, he says, okay, fine. Like, yes, stealing one is just an inconvenience. Stealing all 4 is evil. So Junior goes back around and they're able to steal the other 3 and get away.
Okay.
And Kim and Ron will need to track them down. But in the meantime, Kim's got soccer practice to go to. She's got soccer practice to coach. She's got to be on time.
She got bills to pay. Kim's got a whole life. Yeah,
A
she's got
full
cheerleading
schedule.
practice at 7, soccer
Yeah.
practice at 8. It's just tough out here.
Exactly. And because it is tough out here, Ron joins her to help her with like the equipment, to help, kind of be an
Nice.
assistant coach. And, like we kind of mentioned before, this is like, like a little league soccer team. They're 10 years old. Like, they're literally just like kicking the ball. It goes like a foot every time they kick it. They're just tumbling over each other. They're like just
Picking their
sprinting it.
noses and playing in the grass.
Exactly. Someone's taking a nap. Like, someone ran for 2 minutes and got like a little like
Winded.
yeah, got like a little Charlie horse, so they're just crying. Like, someone's eating goldfish on the sidelines with a juice box. Like,
Some kid just kicked a soccer ball in another kid's face and they're
Right.
just crying out there.
it's not.
chaos.
There's
It's a
no
daycare,
practice.
basically.
Yeah, no,
Outdoor
the daycare just on a field. Yeah, on some turf.
Yeah.
So Kim walks onto the field. She, like, kind of in transit to all these places, has been doing research on soccer, the rules, how to play. And so she immediately starts showing off her kids, or to the kids, like doing some cool tricks, like absolutely slamming the soccer ball into the goal. And all the kids are like cheering her on. Like, not only is this not a lame parent here, but this is a cool ass teenager coming in
Yeah.
to like do super cool moves. And like, I imagine, I've never been a coach. I imagine this would be like a good way to like earn respect for your athletes to be like, I know what I'm talking about when I coach you here. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
it's getting street cred essentially, which
Yes. Or just showing that you can like do something really cool in that sport in general.
yes.
Or like just, yeah.
Yeah, to be
It's
like, I
like,
have skills that you want to have too.
mhm. It's like in rowing terms for us who, in a
Yes.
way that we could understand, it'd be like when you're coaching novices and you get on the erg and pull like a 157 just
Ex-
casually while teaching them. And they're just like,
yes.
oh, like as you're
What?
talking
Yes,
to,
as
just
you're coaching them
nonchalantly
still.
pulling like a 155 or something,
Yes,
being like,
while
oh,
you're
how about you
actively having a
try?
conversation.
Yes,
Yes,
that would
see,
be like
for
the
example, in theory, if one coach were to do that,
if one
perhaps
exactly like
it
I
would
would
be
think
the
that
coolest
that is
coach in the
how
world.
the athletes would respond to a coach doing such a thing. I don't know,
Perhaps,
but maybe
perchance.
they would respect you forever after that
And
and
most
think you're the
likely.
coolest coach ever. I don't know.
Exactly. And
Maybe.
that's kind of what's happening here. Like they're all like, whoa,
Yes.
this is cool as hell. But the vibes shift a little bit as one of the twins, Tim or Jim, who's to say, picks up the ball and is really excited to like try the things his older sister was showing off. And he's
Hmm.
holding the ball in his hands, being like, Kim, 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 like, show me. And she sprints up to him and legit screams in his face, "Hey, are you the goalie? No? Then hands off." And she
Oh,
headbutts the ball out of his hand.
oh shit.
And
She is
this,
competitive, but
uh-huh. And this
uh,
energy, to no surprise and to Ron's horror and the horror of the children, continues again and again. A kid wants to do something, and Kim shuts them down, yells at them that they're doing it all wrong, and then takes the ball and does it better herself. She's
mm,
slinging balls so aggressively that we literally see like one of the twins is like playing goalie and he's like running into like the poles of like the goal and like getting like scuffs across his face.
oh.
Kim is the second bad parent of this episode.
I was wondering. I was like, Ron's parents? Who else do we see?
No,
Oh, Kim. No, no,
it's
no.
it's
It's
Kim.
it's little
It's
league. It's just kids. Just let them
they're
be kids.
they're
She's like,
literally
no,
just
I'm bringing the same energy that I bring to the cheerleading squad. Dad
into
asked me
my
to coach.
missions.
I'm gonna get these fucking 10-year-olds in shape. We're winning that little league
I'm
championship.
bringing the same
James is
energy
like,
I bring to Terrace.
yes. These kids are basically mini Drakens as far as I'm concerned. She like visualizes his and
Right,
she
just
goes
about
face on all of them,
11
like
of them.
tackling them. Yeah. James is like, Kim, I think my foot should be better by the
I
champions. I
think
think
I'm
I just need you
fine.
this week. No, god damn it, you go heel.
She
You
pushes him
stay
down so he
home.
hurts himself again.
Breaks his other leg. Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like kids are crying, like they're like so tired. And
They
she
thought
is
she was gonna be
just
cool at first, and then she switched real quick.
yeah, that flip
Yeah.
switch
They're
immediately.
like, wow, she can do such cool tricks. And then she like forces them to also do them. And they're
Right?
like,
They
oh
like
no,
they keep getting hit in
this
the
is
head
now
as they try and
torture.
headbutt it. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah.
But luckily for the kids, Wade calls Kim and says there's
Mm.
been another robbery. When Kim says it's time for her to go, all of the kids cheer.
Yeah.
But when she tells slash threatens them to keep practicing because she'll be back, they all groan again and start crying.
Aw.
So,
Great.
yeah, healthy. So we leave soccer practice. But before we catch up with Ron and Kim to head to where this robbery is, we first head to Europe. I'm pretty sure to a private island off the coast of Spain, I would presume. And
Mhm.
this is perhaps Junior's private island, or at least where
Oh.
he was allowed to build his lair, his first lair ever.
Oh.
And Senior has come over to inspect it. And
Mm.
outside of his lair is not subtle, you could say.
Oh God.
This like all black, jet black building, I'm pretty sure. It's all jet black except for the bright pink, like 2-story lights that are flashing and spelling Junior outside of it.
He's a star. What do you want,
Ah!
Grace? What do you expect?
He's a
Come
Nepo baby.
on.
Of course he's gonna try to be
Yeah.
famous. And on the inside of this lair, there's basically like this giant, like all stone, like caverns, like room with floor to ceiling windows overlooking the island. And Senior is walking in, shaking his head, saying this lair is too showy. Like, you're supposed to be evil. It's supposed to be a secret until you like let your plans go. They're not supposed to find you like this. This is a bad lair.
Yeah,
And
true.
Junior kind of flinches at the insults, but he keeps his chin up and he keeps at it. He's like working on some plans on a desk or like on a table of some sorts.
Hmm.
And Junior sees this and asks to see the plans. He wants to make sure that they're evil enough.
Hmm.
And Junior, I'm proud of him here. He stands up for himself, saying that this is
Good.
his plan and it is his time to be the villain, okay?
Okay, fine.
And Senior kind of grumbles a few more disappointing comments about the layer and lets, that little temper tantrum be as he sees it. And now we're going to pause here because this is not a great situation between father and son.
Hmm.
But we're pausing here really to talk about maybe another bad father-son relationship. Maybe actually another set this time of bad parents. And we can't really assume they're bad parents 'cause we don't know the situation, but I didn't have
Yeah.
any other way to shoehorn this in. And this, Alexis, these bad parents are the parents of Charles Entertainment Cheese, aka Chuck E.
Not
Cheese,
not
the mouse.
Charles. Yeah, tell me what happened that made him so cursed.
Alexis, I was digging around to see if there were any like Chuck E. Cheese animatronic specific like crazy stories I could tell you of crime. And while there are like, of course crimes and like horrors around like Chuck E. Cheese establishments, as well as
For
some like
other horrible reasons.
yes,
Yes.
exactly, as well as some legal drama with like the actual corporation classic.
Ball pits
I
and
decided not to
such,
talk
negligence,
about
et
them.
cetera, et cetera.
Yes. I decided not to talk about them. Instead, I stumbled across this the backstory of Chuck E. Cheese, which
Hmm.
was reported upon both in People magazine and Business
Oh.
Insider. Because
Oh.
apparently in 2012, the Chuck E. Cheese website put up this like children's storybook that
Hmm.
has his backstory in it. I don't think it's on the website any longer. I didn't go check the
Okay.
website, but I did find that storybook.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to read directly the summary that people.com gave it by an author, Hannah Chubb. And here is the direct quote because I was like, I looked through the storybook and I was like, she does a great 3-paragraph summary about this.
Okay. Okay.
So,
All right.
Chuck E. Cheese grew up in an orphanage called Saint Marina or Saint Marineras.
I'm out. I'm out. Don't no, we're not painting some sympathetic background story for this horrifying creature. No, no, no. You're not gonna make me feel bad for this thing.
Alexis,
You right there.
quote, because he was an orphan, Chuck did not know his own birthday, but
Chuck.
but
Stop
loved
it.
celebrating the birthdays of the other orphans in the orphanage. He loved music and games, and he especially loved singing Happy Birthday, even though he'd never heard it sung to himself.
Yeah, she's a monster.
This is also why, especially when he came out to sing Happy Birthday to you, it was extra traumatizing. You could feel the
I
like
knew. I was
the
like, there's something.
revenge he felt as he sang it.
That
Oh.
is the revenge he exacts on other children for not showing him love that he always wanted. It's like,
Exactly.
ugh, gosh.
It's actually
okay.
a villain origin story. So,
Yeah.
quote, one day, when Chuck grew too old to stay at the orphanage, he moved to New York City.
Oh,
There,
no one wanted to take him. Again, it's not right.
This wasn't a Stuart Little situation.
I know. No one wanted to take him in. Interesting. He
No,
grew out
this
of
evil
the
rat.
orphanage. Sorry. I'll stop
And there, he was sad, lonely, and homeless.
In New York, too. Is that where it said? God. Jesus, they are really giving him a hard background. Like,
he decided to go sleep in a pizzeria because he loved the music from the radio and the smell of pizza. But eventually, he got caught by the pizza shop owner who tried to kill him. The only thing that saved Chuck was singing. The pizzeria owner was the pizzeria owner thought he had a great voice and employed him to sing to his customers at the restaurant.
Okay.
On his first night on stage, Chuck was too afraid to sing and kept being booed. And long story short, he saw a boy with a birthday crown and couldn't help but sing. The crowd cheered, and the pizzeria became the most popular spot in town forevermore. Perfect for families and birthday parties. Because you say happy birthday to that kid.
Yeah.
End quote.
Yeah.
So it's the backstory to your nemesis.
Sounds like they're retconning health code violations at that restaurant.
This was no Ratatouille fucking situation.
Yeah. Nah, he was just trying to. This was a pizza shop owner being like, "No, this isn't like a dangerous rat. This rat works here.
This is the talent.
He sings for the guests. This rat, please don't shut down my restaurant."
Exactly. Yeah, this is definitely a retcon from they tried to make him a sympathetic character.
Why did they have to make him an orphan? I don't get. I mean,
to make him extra sympathetic.
To make him sympathetic. Yeah, I get it. I guess
it didn't work on you though.
No, it didn't. It didn't. And I probably sound like a freaking asshole because of it too. I swear I have nothing against orphans, orphanages. They're like, but
I'm glad that we heard your I'm glad we heard your story before I told this because I was going to ask for your story afterwards. But I think you're now the more sympathetic character because we heard your trauma first rather than after this. Exactly. Otherwise, we would have seen you being like, "Fuck this mouse."
Yeah, afterwards, and then I probably wouldn't have said it after that. I would have been like, "Nope, I've never had an issue with Chuck E. Cheese in my life. I've always loved animatronics, especially him.
No matter what,
lied through it." Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm glad we're working through this together, including this insane backstory that, again, the picture book exists out there.
And they totally created that on their own. They weren't I don't think anyone was demanding this. They what is his backstory? What is his origin? They were like, "Oh, how cute would it be if we just came up with this and then let's run it in Business Insider? That way the stock market's on board and then the wine moms are on board so they know what to do when they're taking their kids there."
Funny that you mentioned the stock market because part of the legal drama is all the bankruptcy times that Chuck E. Cheese has gone through.
Did that help
among many other things? Yes.
Was that around the time they rebranded him too into his little CGI appearance? Now he used to be the big fat rat,
and now 2012
he's cool,
zone,
hip.
He's a skater, rock and roll.
He's a skater, bro. I'm Chucky the skater.
And apparently too, the first time this animatronic mascot came to be and the logo, apparently he was supposed to be a coyote, but everyone thought he looked like a rat, and so they were like, that's what it is.
The rat.
Will that make you give us money, please? Great.
They still named him Chuck E. Cheese, though, even as a coyote. They're like, coyotes love cheese, right?
Cheese? Yeah, it's a pizza place.
I would have preferred a coyote, but that's just me. I guess not a coyote that looks like a rat, though. That would be terrifying.
We hate all of it.
Yeah, we hate it all. But a coyote on its own, maybe. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's my Chuck E. Cheese information for you this episode.
Good to know, which is Barrymore. Yeah. Which, I mean, as far as we can be concerned, that's Barrymore's backstory too. If he's just a direct rip-off of Chuck E. Cheese.
This was just an orphanage. Chuck E. Cheese hires all of their talent directly from the orphanage. They say, "We're adopting them."
Yeah.
Right to work.
Work exactly.
You hate to
with
see
or without benefits. Anyways,
exactly.
See it happen.
So meanwhile, we join up with Kim and Ron, who are investigating this robbery at a neon factory. It makes like neon
Oh,
signs and stuff.
yeah. That also sounds very dangerous because
Yeah,
you aren't supposed
yes.
to touch that stuff. So, yeah.
Correct. Very,
Anyway,
very true. And
great.
so they talk to, yes, one of the scientists there who puts on sunglasses and gives Ron and Kim sunglasses too. And she explains that they have discovered a new gas or like changed around a gas that, when burnt, will actually glow way brighter than neon does.
Mm.
And she shows it off to them, like a prototype of it. And she says this was one of our earlier models, and it, like, huge bright white flash in the room. And she says this was an earlier model. The actual model that like we're now fully prototyping is like way brighter than this. We don't
Hmm.
know how it was stolen, but we do have one clue. There was something left behind. What do you think it
Sorry.
is, Alexis? It's
No,
actually probably not what you think it is.
it's not. I just thought about something else neon that we've seen during this episode so far that I was like, oh, I think I know who took it, but I have no clue
Interesting.
what that person, that perhaps younger of two people, left behind to show.
Well, there is a camcorder left behind. This is
Oh,
2002
that's not
after all.
good for
And
whoever
there's
the
an
wolf was.
odd video on it. Wow, this also, thinking of your
This
story,
is,
equally
I know, I
traumatic
was
for
like,
you.
where is he going with this? It's like, Grace, please,
We already
is he
talked about
crying at
camcorder
Barrymore?
filming the kid's birthday party as he
Like
cries.
the hair on my arms is like raising up right when you said camcorder. I was like,
What's on
what?
it? What's on
What's
what?
what's on it?
I know. I'm so sorry for this whole episode.
It's okay.
A personal
You're fine.
apology.
You're fine.
You're
I'm good. I'm
stronger
just
than
gonna
this.
call
You're
my mom
stronger than
after this
this.
and cry for like 30 minutes. You won't believe what Grace made me listen
Well, I'm
to.
texting her. You got that video? I
Can you send
got
me the
video.
video of Alexis crying at Chuck E. Cheese when she was like 5 years
Pics at
old?
least.
I actually am gonna ask her if it's
You
somewhere
got it.
in
We
her
gotta
house,
find it.
so don't worry.
So
Yes.
they press play on the camcorder, and we see, you're right, Junior come on screen.
Hmm.
And he's sitting there saying, "It's me." And plug for our YouTube, he's striking poses. "It's me, Senor Senior Junior. And this video is my calling card." But
He records a video and leaves it at the crime scene as a
yes,
calling card rather than
correct.
just like, okay, oh, I love this
Correct.
guy. This is great.
Correct.
What an idiot.
But this video gets interrupted as we see Senior come on screen and basically say, "This is not a calling card, and this is ridiculous." And he stops the recording.
Senior is like, oh my God, I'm regretting not spending more time with you as a child.
God, who are the nannies that raised you?
This is such a Nepo baby. Like,
Yes.
he's,
I
how
should have
did you
parented
get
you so
here?
much differently.
Yes.
So Kim and Ron leave, confused why the seniors stole anatomic animals and now
Mhm.
neon. And I'm also wondering the same thing.
Yeah. What's the
When
connection?
Ron makes some type of comment to Kim about soccer, which is when Kim realizes, "I left the kids at the soccer field." She goes back. It's fully dark outside. It's fully
Say,
nighttime.
now you just see a kid sitting in a field at night alone.
It's the entire team, not just the twins. They're like, because they were told to keep practicing, Alexis, and they're scared of Kim. So they're just like dragging their feet on the field, crying as they like nudge the ball along. They're like zombies forced to play soccer right now.
Like, we have school tomorrow.
My parents
We
are
haven't
probably
eaten in 8
worried.
hours.
One kid's like, "My blood sugar's low. I'm diabetic. Please help me."
Oh my God. Yeah, parents were thinking their kids have been like kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
So the kids get home, and Kim tries to pep her brothers up, who are sitting on the couch with like full ice bags on their legs.
Aw.
And Kim's like, "Look, you got to be stoked for tomorrow's practice. Tomorrow, guys, listen to this. We're going full contact."
What? They weren't already?
And these kids also go, "Isn't soccer no contact?"
Yeah.
And Kim says, "That's what the other teams think."
Oh, I mean, like, ease off, Kim, cool down, but also Don't stop. Keep
But
going.
also, these kids will be winners.
Exactly. I was like, you are abusing them, but like they're all going to be super successful in the future when they look back on this moment. Like that was the moment that I turned into the
Everything
champion I
changed.
am today.
Yes.
Yes. When I tackled that little kid
Yes.
that we were playing in soccer because our
But
teenage interim coach told me to.
but it does go a step too far. So Ron
Hmm.
invites her out to go get some burritos at his favorite place. And she's groaning and moaning about how weak these kids are and goes a little farther and says, you know what? I think I could put on the uniforms. I'd pass for a tall 10-year-old. So Kim's now trying to fully take over, which I think is a little too far. And
Hmm.
Ron sees this and he's like, hey, Kim, this competitiveness is kind of taking you to a darker place than, maybe we should be. Seems like you kind of are a little too much wanting to be in control of these children.
Yeah.
But Wade calls and cuts off the convo, much to Kim's relief, obviously,
Hmm.
and tells them that he's come across another video, a video they might want to see. So they hit play, and bam! We've got groovy pink light and purple patterns flashing in the background. Bam! We've got disco music, honey. And bam! Junior appears in the foreground, moving those hips, striking
Get it, boy.
poses, honey.
All right.
He's a good boy. And we
Get it,
cut.
boy.
Bam! Close up on his face. He looks over his shoulder, stares right down the camera, locking eyes with us, with the viewer. He says, so, you love the nightlife? You love to boogie? Then come to Club Lair, the globe's newest and hottest disco.
Layer.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
It's all coming together now.
All coming together.
And the entertainment, I assume, is you'll get to it in a second.
I'll get to it. Put a very short pit in it.
All right.
Because we cut to this new and hot disco Club Lair, and we see more of this like big cavern that we had seen earlier with those like floor to ceiling windows. And we now see the full on elevated flashing light 70s dance floor that's there. Our animatronic animals, they're not farmers anymore. That life left in the dust. They are
where it belongs.
Full disco.
They
animals.
said no more farming. Saturday Night Fever only.
I was going to say, literally, picture John Travolta's outfit, Saturday Night Fever. Full white V, baby. So one of them's got an afro, tiny glasses, fringe, platforms like you've never seen. You think Lady Gaga wears platforms today? Absolutely not.
Not anymore.
These are not just the entertainment. They're not the music, Alexis. They are the go-go dancers of this club here. They are in like dancer cages above the dance floor.
Are you kidding me?
Absolutely not. Would I kid you about?
Why would I kid about?
Why would I kid you about a 70s club?
Animatronics go-go dancers in cages elevated above the dance floor.
Yes, exactly.
That's not a joking matter.
This is serious business here. And Junior is behind basically the DJ booth, and he starts bumping some 70s disco, and all of those animals up there start grooving with it.
Nice. You know what? That is a way that I could get behind animatronic animals.
Yes.
For sure. That would not scare me. Yes, exactly. It's where they belong. Wait, what are the other? So there's a bear. Is Barrymore? What are some
bear,
of the other ones?
A hippo, an otter, and a beaver.
Okay. Oh, an otter. Oh, that would be cute. Okay. All right.
In a little 70s outfits.
I'm intrigued by this curve.
Yeah. They're boogie nights, baby. Full boogie nights tonight.
Love it.
And for me, this is where I'm also like, maybe Senior did raise Junior, right?
Yeah. He just wants to have fun. He's showy. But, yeah, but he's got good ideas. Just let him cook. Let him cook.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But Senior is there shaking his head at every single aspect of this, saying, but where is the evil in it all? And
Hmm.
he desperately turns to Junior and begs him to tell him the rest of his plan. Like, is this a trap of some sorts? Like, give me the evil behind it all. And Junior assures him that there is evil here. As the animals dance to the funky beat, the crowd will be inspired to do the same, and they will party all night long. And Junior, he, in his evil plan, will overcharge for beverages.
Ah, nice. I was gonna say he's
Just
gonna
like
make money. Yeah.
every club I've gone to ever.
Which factually, one of the more evil things a human can do.
Truly,
So,
truly. I am
so
not
senior
paying
should be
for
proud.
an $11 shot. Thank you very much. But at
Absolutely
this club, Club
not.
Lair,
Absolutely not.
they will be.
They will. Yeah. If it's to see a dancing animatronic go-go robot,
Hmm.
yeah, I pay $11 for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that's
A
still
party hero
cheaper than
night?
drinking in DC. So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's like
exactly.
a
At
beer
like
in
not
DC,
even just
not
a
even a
club, just a
shot. A
regular
regular
like
bar.
dive bar.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. So sign me up, Junior. Actually, I think he's onto something.
Exactly. And Senior sighs. He was afraid this would be the case. But before he can reprimand him, Kim and Ron rush into the building where they find just a club. And Ron
Mm,
is on our page. He's like, okay, beyond all the polyester, this doesn't seem that evil.
yeah.
And Senior is like, see, I told you.
Even they don't think it's evil,
Even they
son.
don't think it is.
Yeah, and they fight evil. They know what evil
They
is.
see it miles
Yes.
away. And so Senior tells Junior to finally be evil and like fight them or throw them out or something. And Junior literally cannot because, quote, I just got my
Hmm.
nails buffed for the big opening.
You go. Junior, he
Yeah,
knows.
we
He
love
knows a
Junior,
thing or two. Yes.
it turns out.
What a
Yeah,
good
he has
kid. He turned
priorities,
out
okay?
great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, look, he's just
Senior
opening
did
up
a great job with
a
him. Totally
club. What's the
180
big
from what we
deal?
said 2 seconds ago.
Exactly. I was like, she's going to change her mind. I'll let her believe this for now.
Yes.
And Senior, though, he has had enough of this non-evil shit. And we see now that he never believed in Junior anyways. He knew from the
Aw.
jump this would not be evil. So Senior puts on sunglasses and makes Junior put on a pair too. And he heads over to the DJ booth and presses a handful of buttons that drops down a giant glittering disco ball.
Mm.
And as soon as the disco ball starts spinning, Kim and Ron's mouths drop open and they just stare in awe at it and basically just start to
Mm.
drool and slump over because they are fully hypnotized.
Mm. Uh-oh.
And Senior explains to his mortified son that he modified the disco ball by filling it with this new, brighter neon, but because it's in a disco ball, somehow like the refraction that happens that disco balls do somehow has made this a hypnotic device, unless you have
Mm.
sunglasses on.
Nah.
And Junior is basically like on his knees screaming at this point, saying, they are just standing still. They're not dancing. And at
Aw.
this, Kim and Ron start dancing, but still very much like zombies, going, we must dance. We
Mm.
must keep dancing. And Senior explains that under this hypnosis, they will obey whatever commands they get while they're hypnotized.
Hmm.
And so Junior and Senior are arguing that this was not Junior's original groovy plan. And Senior shuts him down and says, no, this is the plan now. All of Europe's elite are on their way for the club opening in just a few hours, and this is the plan they're going with. And it is a frickin' opening. Like, there is paparazzi. There are crowds clamoring to get in. There are limos and probably private jets dropping people off. And as crowds start to head in, Senior is greeting all of them, and Junior is just standing with his arms crossed, pissed, as the
Aw.
music starts bumping. And we look up in the cages for the go-go dancers, and we see that
Yeah.
not only are our animatronic disco animals up there, but Ron and Kim are also up there too,
Oh.
mindlessly dancing.
Yikes. Which, well, okay.
Yeah, we should have some questions here, Europe's
A
elite, as
lot.
we walk in.
Yes.
About these children in the cage.
These children, literally. Anyways, all
Anyways,
right.
Senior drops the disco ball as the crowd crowds in, and everybody immediately is hypnotized. And they are just standing there like zombies beneath flashing lights and music. And then Senior gets out a phone and makes a phone call to, I guess, like an operator's desk. Like this haggard man answers and goes, "Hello, this is Europe."
If only it were that easy.
I
That'd be
mean,
nice.
I guess if you're rich enough,
Could you imagine the prank calls?
get a through
Just
line.
make a prank call to Europe.
We're not rich enough to have that line, is the situation here, to an entire continent.
Yes.
And Senior tells this operator that he has all of Europe's elite here and fully under his control. But the operator, maybe some of the rich kids do prank call him, basically is like,
Yeah.
"Sorry, who is this?" And just hangs up.
Dang. Well,
Yeah, he's like,
uninterested.
this man has bags under his eyes. He's got like 12 cups of coffee around him.
He's like, do you know how many people call Europe on a daily basis?
Yeah.
I got a lot
saying
of calls
they
to
have
make.
people captured. Okay, let's keep
Yeah,
it moving.
I've
here.
heard it before.
Exactly. And as that's happening, and that's happening like below, including Junior basically crying at his ruined club, Wade calls Kim and notices that she doesn't answer. So he patches himself through and is able to see as she's hypnotized, or he's able to see that she is hypnotized because basically he has like a little robot arm that extends from like the communicator that has a
cool. I
little
didn't know that.
camera on it.
Wow.
And so he is able to like see that she's hypnotized, see that Ron is, and this little like robot arm has like a little claw on the end, and he's able to go through her pockets and find a pair of sunglasses because Kim's cool. She has
Yeah,
sunglasses.
of course she always. Yeah, she knows fashion.
Exactly. And he puts the sunglasses on her and it whips her out of the trance. And so as Senior's on the phone trying to call Europe downstairs, Junior's crying, everyone else is a zombie. I know, Junior.
It's just a mess. This whole night's ruined.
The whole night ruined, father. Kim is able to break out of the cage and get Ron and Rufus a pair of
I was wondering,
sunglasses.
like, where's Rufus? Oh,
He'll get
Rufus'
hypnotized too, but he does have
sunglasses.
sunnies now and he's now safe and fine.
I bet he looks so good in sunglasses.
He
He's
looks
probably so
the
adorable.
Best in the sunglasses out of all of them, obviously.
Aw.
And so they jump down, and Senior is fuming at this point. And Senior is even more mad when he sees Kim and Ron for probably like yelling, blaming Junior probably that the cages weren't strong enough or some shit like that. And Junior screams, "Always with the insults, father. Where is the praise? This was my plan. I just wanted people to dance." And at this, the zombie crowd all starts dancing.
Ah, that's right.
Yes. But this little tantrum.
Like zombie dancing, though, right?
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
They're not good dancers.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
not
So it's probably
good
still
dancing
not
happening.
to Junior's liking.
Exactly. This is no Donna Summers happening here.
Oh,
this is no
I mean,
Diana.
no
on the
one
floor
is.
here.
I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Come, please.
Please.
But all of this is ignored as Senior turns his attention to Kim and Ron, and he hits something else on the DJ booth as he explains that it wasn't just the disco ball that he tweaked. He also gave all of the animatronic animals laser eyes. Why not?
Why not?
They
Like, if
probably
you've got
already
the
have
money.
Yes.
Yeah, true. He just turned the switch on.
Exactly.
I know what Chuck E. Cheese has been up to all these years.
Yes, and they're all remote controllable, so he breaks them out of the cages, and they all start running after Kim and Ron with their laser eyes. And like,
Bored.
it is low-key terrifying. At like one point, Ron is like hiding behind like a little outcropping on a wall, like trying to catch his breath, and like the hippo or the bear just punch through the wall directly at Ron.
Which, like, hippos are scary enough on their own. Animatronic hippos, please no.
All over.
Animatronic hippos with laser eyes? Come on. What is
Absolutely
this?
not.
What is this show trying to do to us?
This is why you were traumatized.
Yes, I know. I guess I did watch
This
this
is the
show and I
one
forgot
episode you
about it.
saw.
Yeah.
So Wade calls Kim and says he's working on hacking into some of the animatronic systems, but he's only able to get into the otter and the beaver. The hippo and the bear are impenetrable.
Mm-hmm.
So Kim and Ron are running through the disco, mind you, trying to not have the bystanders also get laser beamed to death.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because they're
Yes, in
like
a
helpless.
crowded club. Yeah.
Yeah, of like zombies, so they don't know to move out of the way.
Exactly. Great. So Ron, as usual, is a distraction. And Kim works her way up back actually onto the cages hanging from the ceiling. And she's able to like kind of use the cages to swing over and undo the disco ball from the ceiling. Mm-hmm. And as it careens towards the crowd, she shouts so that the hippo and the bear look up at her, and they both shoot at her at the same time, perfectly hitting the falling disco ball and also vaporizing, the dangerous air and gas inside of it.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And it explodes right in the air. Not ignore all of the glass shattering everywhere.
I was going to say shards of glass in everyone's bodies. Okay.
Ignore
ignore
that.
Cartoon logic. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
They're fine. And so Senior and Junior, of course, see this, and Senior drags Junior out. Junior is like inconsolable. And they successfully get away. Mm-hmm. And back at home, Kim and Ron head back to the soccer game. It's the actual game, not just practice. Right. Mm-hmm. Where Kim is pouting on the bench, but not in her coach's outfit. Because we learned that this team of 10-year-old children fired Kim, but replaced her, Alexis, with an animatronic animal.
Oh my God, no, that's even worse. I thought you were going to say Ron.
So much worse. And that's the end.
Which
I don't remember which one. I don't know. I write it down.
Can you imagine Kim's dad, James, like showing up to the game and being like, Kim, what the fuck happened?
He is at the game.
He's like, why is an animatronic animal coaching them now?
They knew that Kim was an uncontrollable competitive monster. He's standing behind Kim and Ron's next to them, and they're like, better luck next time, Kim.
Jeez, he knew the whole time.
Yep, exactly.
Great job. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I like that I like this light of Kim, where last week, in the past couple of weeks, we've been like, yeah, Kim, I think she's pretty basic. Like, she's just a normal kid. No, I'm going to guess that this competitiveness in her, like this competitive streak is probably a common thread throughout the entire, like this kind of behavior isn't something that the writers just like throw in one time. Like, for a plot device.
No one was surprised. Dad, no, exactly. Ron, not at all.
Exactly. And she just jumped right into all of that. So like to so quickly act in such a way around these stranger kids.
Yes, and I will say at one point, like during the fighting, when they see Senior like bossing Junior around, it is very funny. I didn't put this in, but I will mention it. Ron is like, wow, Kim, it seems like someone really wants to be in control. Maybe competitively so, and this is what it does to people, as Junior's like crying, and she's like, whatever, Ron. So, everybody knows, and they're like, Kim.
Just saying.
Kim, you know this about yourself, too.
Mm-hmm. And now starting to wonder if she's captain of the cheerleading squad, not just because she is really good at, like, gymnastics and cheerleading, but also because she just steamrolled over everyone else to get there.
Absolutely, yes.
Probably that, yeah.
I mean, like in your episode last week, that Bonnie and probably other people voted no, don't make Ron the mascot, and then...
Yeah.
Kim said yes, and Ron was the mascot.
Exactly. Like she was the only one who let it happen. Yeah. No other cheerleader wanted that. And she did it like not even in a meeting with the cheer squad. She didn't get them all together like, hey guys, I changed my mind. We're gonna do this. She just did it like at home, like at her home when Ron was there. Now. Like, okay, fine, you can be in it.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right, Kim,
little dictator here.
Boss babe, you go. You
get it, girl. Boss babe.
Yeah, you get it. Mercenary boss babe is the theme.
Mercenary babe.
Yeah. We're rebranding mercenaries now. It seems like an appropriate time to do so in world history.
Perfect time for it.
Yeah. We're giving them a new light, positive light. Great job. Great job.
Thank you. Yes. So between now and next week, Who do you have another episode from Kim Possible? Who should our listeners and viewers tell about the show?
You should tell someone who works at some sort of like children's arcade. Doesn't have to be Chuck E. Cheese. There are other like offshoots of it, I'm sure, although it's mostly a monopoly, I think, in this country.
Yes.
But yeah, tell one of them. They always have like teenagers working at the prize booth or something. I'm sure they would love to put an earbud in while they tune out the sound of kids screaming and crying and laughing. Yeah. And
yes.
Go. Yes. Who should they tell? Gotta stop thinking about it.
After that, you should tell someone at an adult arcade, aka a casino. Someone who works at a casino. About this show.
She's out of line, but she's correct. She's right.
I'm always out of line, baby.
I have no challenge to that statement. Cool.
Perfect. Well, on that note, then, we'll see y'all next week.
Until next week. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on, so just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.